These aren't just leaders, they're walking fortresses. In a world of ever-present threats, some heads of state are protected by security so intense, it makes spy movies look like a cartoon. We're talking about futuristic technology, elite military units, and secret protocols, designed to keep them safe from any threat you can possibly imagine. Today, we're taking a peek behind the curtain at 15 of the most protected leaders on the planet. Keep in mind, this ranking is a blend of public knowledge, the sheer size of their security forces, and how intense their protection appears to the outside world. From bulletproof everything to decoy airplanes, you won't believe the lengths these nations go to keep their leaders alive. Number 15. Olaf Scholz, Chancellor of Germany. Kicking off our list is the Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz. His security is handled by the Federal Criminal Police Office, or BKA. In response to growing domestic and international threats, the BKA is significantly increasing its number of personal protection agents. The Chancellor is protected around the clock by specialized units, who employ both visible and discreet personnel during public appearances. While often described as more understated than the security for other world leaders, Germany is bolstering its approach, with plans to add hundreds of new bodyguards through 2025 and beyond. Number 14. Emmanuel Macron, President of France. At number 14 is the President of France, Emmanuel Macron. His security is a sophisticated mix of two elite forces, the GSPR and the Republican Guard. Think of the GSPR as his personal shadow, a unit of nearly 80 highly trained agents who follow his every move. Then you have the Republican Guard, a military unit that secures presidential sites like the Élysée Palace. This layered approach means Macron is protected by both a nimble close protection team and a military force locking down his perimeter. Number 13. Yoon Suk-yeol, President of South Korea. At number 13, we have the President of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol. His protection is handled by the Presidential Security Service, or PSS, an independent agency with around 500 bodyguards. These agents are known for their fierce loyalty. In fact, the PSS has a history of intense devotion, once physically blocking investigators from arresting a former president they were assigned to guard. The PSS recently announced plans to add another 65 agents to protect former President Yoon. Number 12. Bola Tinubu, President of Nigeria. Next, we head to Africa's most populous nation to look at President Bola Tinubu. Protecting him is the job of the Presidential Guards Brigade, an elite unit of the Nigerian army. These aren't just ceremonial soldiers. They are a heavily armed, highly disciplined force responsible for the president's personal safety, his motorcade, and the security of the Aso Rock presidential villa. Given the complex security challenges in Nigeria, their mission is one of the most demanding on the continent. Number 11. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, President of Brazil. At number 11 is the President of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. His protection is managed by the Institutional Security Cabinet, which coordinates intelligence and security operations. Interestingly, after a period of intense political polarization, Lula has relied more on the federal police for his personal security, reportedly due to a distrust of military personnel who were in place under the previous administration. This has led to significantly tightened security protocols, with a greater focus on intelligence gathering and fortified protection. Number 10. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of Turkey. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey lands at number 10, and his security detail is basically a personal army. After more than 2 decades in power, Erdogan has cultivated a deep distrust of outsiders, relying on an ever-expanding team of personal bodyguards. His security is so massive that for foreign visits, he has his own armored cars flown in on military cargo planes. The cost for his protection has skyrocketed, with a budget that has seen staggering increases year after year, rivaling that of smaller government ministries. Number 9. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India. Coming in at number 9 is the leader of the world's largest democracy, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Special Protection Group, or SPG, is an elite force of thousands responsible for his protection 24/7, both in India and abroad. His motorcade is a fortress on wheels, including armored BMWs, Range Rovers, and a Mercedes Maybach S650 Guard. One of the SPG's coolest gadgets is the ballistic briefcase, which can unfold into a portable, bulletproof shield in a split second to protect the Prime Minister. Number 8. Pope Francis, head of the Catholic Church. All right, so our next one isn't technically a president, but as one of the most recognizable figures on the planet and a head of state, Pope Francis has security that's impossible to ignore. His protection is a fascinating blend of ancient tradition and modern tactics. The first layer is the legendary Pontifical Swiss Guard, the world's oldest standing army, known for their Renaissance outfits and halberds. Don't let the uniforms fool you. They are highly trained soldiers. The second layer is the Vatican Gendarmerie, the state's modern police force, handling everything from crowd control to intel. The biggest headache for his guards? The Pope himself, whose desire to be close to people often has him breaking protocol, making their job a constant, unpredictable mission. Number 7. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. At number 7 is Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who operates in one of the most volatile regions in the world. His protection is the responsibility of Shin Bet, Israel's internal security agency. These aren't just bodyguards, they are some of the most highly trained security operatives on Earth, known for their aggressive, proactive methods. Netanyahu is under constant, multi-layered surveillance. His home is a fortress, his travel routes are randomized, and his public events involve snipers, bomb-sniffing dogs, and undercover agents who melt into the crowd. The sheer intensity of the threats he faces means his security detail lives on high alert 24/7. Number 6. Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Now we have the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS. As a leader who has made powerful enemies at home and abroad, his security is among the world's most formidable. He consolidated all the kingdom's intelligence and security forces under a new body, the Presidency of State Security, which reports directly to him. MBS is said to trust only a hand-picked personal guard from the elite royal guard for his physical safety. He travels with a massive entourage, uses cutting-edge surveillance, and is backed by Saudi Arabia's most elite military units. Number 5. Xi Jinping, President of China. At number 5 is the leader of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping. His security is as absolute and secretive as his government. His protection is handled by the Central Security Bureau, an elite and notoriously private unit of the People's Liberation Army. Xi has reportedly shaken up the leadership of this bureau more than once, a move seen as his way of ensuring total, unquestioning loyalty. When he travels, his armored Hongqi L5 limousine is swarmed by a convoy of security vehicles and running bodyguards, all focused on stopping any possible threat or protest. Number 4. Kim Jong-un, Supreme Leader of North Korea. Coming in at number 4 is North Korea's Supreme Leader, Kim Jong-un. Considering the absolute power he wields and the secretive nature of his regime, it's no shock that his security is off the charts. His protection is handled by the Supreme Guard Command, a military unit whose only job is to ensure his survival. The most famous part of his security detail is, of course, the dozen bodyguards who jog alongside his limousine, creating a literal human shield. These agents are obsessively vetted for their loyalty to the Kim dynasty, and their sole purpose is to protect the supreme leader at any cost. Number 3. Vladimir Putin, President of Russia. Sliding into the number 3 spot is Russia's Vladimir Putin. As a former KGB agent, Putin is said to be almost paranoid about security. His protection is managed by the Federal Protective Service, or FSO, a secretive and powerful agency with an estimated force of tens of thousands. The FSO is more than just bodyguards. It's practically an intelligence agency within an agency, handling everything from threat analysis to control over Russia's nuclear codes. Putin is known to use decoy motorcades and even decoy planes. A former FSO officer once revealed that Putin's distrust runs so deep that his own security teams are often kept in the dark about his real location. Number 2. Donald Trump, President of the United States. In our number 2 spot is the President of the United States, Donald Trump. The U.S. Secret Service is arguably the most famous protection agency in the world, and its mission to guard the president is a massive multi-billion-dollar operation. The president travels in the Beast, a heavily armored limo that's less of a car and more of a rolling bunker, complete with its own oxygen supply and resistance to bombs and bullets. From Marine One helicopters to no-fly zones, every aspect of the president's life is secured. However, Trump's security is in a unique category. Due to a polarizing political career and a confirmed assassination attempt in 2024, his security detail was dramatically reinforced with resources beyond the norm. The Secret Service even began using special bulletproof glass to shield him during outdoor rallies, a measure not typical before the direct, severe threats he faced. Number 1. The British Prime Minister. And at the number 1 spot is an office, rather than a person. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, protected by the Royalty in Specialist Protection Branch, RASP, of the Metropolitan Police. The security is comprehensive and multi-layered. The Prime Minister is constantly surrounded by armed police, with checkpoints and heavy vetting at 10 Downing Street. Travel involves custom-built Jaguar Sentinel cars, which are armored with titanium and Kevlar, have a self-contained oxygen supply, and feature firing ports for agents to use from within the vehicle. The motorcade is a coordinated effort with police outriders to clear traffic, preventing the cars from becoming a stationary target. Given the combination of constant, close proximity armed police, advanced vehicle fortifications, and the fact that former prime ministers also receive lifetime protection, this position is enveloped in one of the most intense and enduring security nets on the planet. These leaders are surrounded by a level of protection that's almost hard to wrap your head around. From human shields to mobile fortresses, it seems there's no price too high to keep a head of state safe. But what do you think? Whose security sounds the most impressive or completely over the top? Let us know in the comments below. And if you had fun peeking behind the curtain, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more content just like this.